Welcome to JetStream Talks, Finances in the Community.
Hey, JetStream family. My name is Samantha Sanchez. I'm our Director of Marketing, and I'm here with our President and CEO, Jeannie QC. How are you doing today, Jeannie?
I'm doing great, Samantha. Thank you so much for having me today.
I'm so excited about you being here today. We're really going to get into some really great questions. So, really to jump into it, Jeannie, what's the biggest financial mistake you see people making over and over again?
That's an easy one, Samantha. People wait too long to get started, whether it's saving, investing, or paying off debt. Time is one of the most powerful financial tools that people have.
You know, that is so true, Jeannie. And really, when we were talking about financial responsibility, if you were starting your financial life today at 22 years old, what would you do differently?
I would start investing earlier and automate it from day one because small, consistent savings deposits add up dramatically over time.
Wow, I did not know that. What's one money habit that has made the biggest difference in your own life?
Definitely living below my means, making saving a priority before spending money on non-essentials.
Nice, nice. So that goes to show, guys, gotta keep a tab on that budget. People often think bigger banks are better. What's the biggest misconception about that?
Big doesn't necessarily equate to better service. There's a misconception that because the big banks have more branches and better name recognition, that they're better equipped to meet members' needs. And that's just not the case. Banks exist to provide profits to shareholders. Credit unions exist to improve the financial state of their members. When you join a credit union, you become a member. So you're a member and you're an owner. And as far as the credit union employees, our purpose is so clear. There's no conflict. We are here for you, and we want to improve your financial state, give you more financial options. If you're a banker, you struggle. You want to provide good number service, but you're not accountable to those customers. You're accountable to the shareholders. When you join a credit union, there's no conflict. Our mission's always very clear.
That's very special. You know, in my personal opinion, I've always believed that you should always work with organizations that are there for you and truly care about your well-being. And if the message was out there more often about the huge difference between banks and credit unions, I feel like more people would go with credit unions.
I agree.
Yeah. What's one decision you've made as CEO that's had a bigger impact than most people realize?
Well, when I came to the credit union, they had lost $1 million in the
Oh my
first 6
God.
months of the year. Yes. So I came here, I started at the end of June, and I had to turn things around pretty quickly. But the one thing that I saw was there was a mismatch between the products and services that we were offering and the products and services that were needed and requested by our community members. We did a little research and we found that over 75% of our members resided in low-income zip codes.
Wow.
So based on that, we pursued the path where we obtained our low-income designation. We're a minority deposit institution. And then we applied for and became a CDFI credit union, Community Development Financial Institution. With that, we were able to obtain approximately $12 million in grants, which
Oh my
we
God.
deployed in the community.
Amazing. Yeah.
It is amazing. And it really turned around every negative metric that the credit union had been experiencing. We were profitable, the loan portfolio grew, deposits grew. So it was good for everybody. It was great for our community. Finally, we were doing more to meet their financial needs, and certainly it made the credit union stronger and really increased our long-term relevance.
That's amazing. You know, I feel like that's such a big responsibility to have at hand. And you must be so proud of how far not only you have come, but the team at JetStream that helped support this strategy for you. How do you feel about that? Do you feel a sense of pride for your team and how far they've come and how much they were able to assist you in this huge goal of just turning the credit union around?
I do. I take a lot of pride in it. And when people say, what makes you most proud? I say progress. And there's been so
Yeah.
much progress on every point.
That is amazing. That is so amazing. And what's something people should expect from a financial institution in 2026 that many still aren't asking for?
Well, financial institutions should go well beyond helping people with their transactions.
Yeah.
They really need to um, be proactive in helping members identify financial goals, assist them with financial literacy so that they're able to achieve those goals, certainly provide the products and services that can walk them down that path to prosperity.
Yeah.
It really, it has to just move from transactional to financial partner and advisor, I think is really probably the best way to say it. And again, if you're assisting a member who's also an owner,
Mm-hmm.
there's a clear partnership at the beginning of that.
Most definitely. And you said it yourself, financial literacy is so important. And it's definitely something that, sometimes you feel as though the community lacks that financial literacy. And do you maybe agree that there's a certain vulnerability that somebody needs to kind of accept within them when it comes to talking about financials and that transparency and, asking someone for guidance when it comes to those kind of objectives?
I definitely think so. I mean, my parents were bright. My dad was a teacher. They were both college graduates, but really, when I look back, they were financially illiterate, and they made a lot of mistakes. Unfortunately, fell for fake investment scams and a few other things, and they weren't good with budgeting and all of that. But yeah, I think we all have areas where we're experts and areas where we need help. And the nice thing is when you reach out to a credit union. Um, that's our mission. That's
Mhm.
why we're here.
Yeah.
Again, we're not here to enrich shareholders. We're here to help your members. So we're just the natural option when you're looking for financial literacy or need help in achieving a financial goals. Home ownership, buying a new car, paying for your kids' college, saving for
Definitely.
retirement. I mean, we can help with all of those goals.
Yeah, that is so fantastic. And it feels awesome to have a leader that cares so much about financial literacy and the impact that it also has within our community. Um, you know, Another question I have for you, if someone only spent 5 minutes improving their finances just this week, what what should they do first?
Review their spending for the last 30 days. Because awareness is key. So once you have that awareness, that's the first step in improving the financial decisions that you'll make.
I definitely agree with that. That happened to me once. I once checked my finances over 30 days and I realized how much I spent on DoorDash. And I kind of learned my lesson there. um, what's one piece of financial advice that you completely disagree with?
Well, a lot of people think that they won't get ahead financially unless they make a huge salary. And I would
Mhm.
say that's not true at all.
Really?
I mean, I would say it's really, good habits, discipline, and consistency.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't matter how much you make, but if you follow that pattern and put savings first before that non-essential spending, like your DoorDash,
You got me
that
there.
really is the key. Yeah, anybody can get there. They really can.
Yeah, and I think that's so true. It's something that a lot of people don't realize when it comes to finances is that awareness of truly what your spending looks like and where your money is going is just so valuable. It's so easy to just have a card and swipe all day and not know where everything goes, but there's a certain kind of ownership you gain when you become aware of your finances. That's just really fantastic, and it just feels good when you start reaching those goals, those financial goals. What's and this is a pretty good question for you. What's one story from a member that has stayed with you throughout your career?
And to be honest, Samantha, I've been doing this for a long time. I have a lot of these stories and I do take a lot of pride in them.
I
There
love
is
that.
one that took place when I was working up in Atlanta that really
Mhm.
did. And I think I've told it enough times. Hopefully it doesn't make me cry. But
Aw.
there was a gentleman that came to me for a loan. He was a janitor at Atlanta Hartsfield Airport. He had 5 kids. He had an atrocious credit report. He had been a credit union member for a long time, and he needed a loan to pay for his daughter's last semester at NYU.
Wow.
And nobody would give it to him, which was very easy to see why when you look at the credit report.
Aw.
And he said, if you give me this loan, I'll pay it back in 6 months. And, I asked him a few questions about his bills and, all of that. And I said, you know what, Mr. Muhammad, I said, you can't pay this back to me in 6 months. That's impossible with your bills. I said, how about we spread it over 18 months? And I gave him the loan, and I did take the step of making it payable to the university, because it really was I don't know how you say it. I mean, it was a big risk,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
unsecured loan, considering his credit history. He thanked me, of course. When his daughter was back at Christmas, he brought the daughter in to thank me.
Oh my God.
And he wrote me a card, and he took a Christmas card and he cut it in half and then wrote on the back of the front.
Mhm.
And he was barely literate, but I understood what he was trying to say. And he bought me a little bottle of perfume,
That is so sweet.
from the drugstore. And it really was just very touching, because for him to do that, he had to go to great lengths and really put himself out there to even write the note.
Exactly.
So I was very touched by that. And then years after, well, not years after, at the end of the semester, he brought his daughter back and to show me that she had graduated, and she was the first college graduate in his family.
That is amazing.
And so, that's an opportunity to make that generational change that, is another thing that credit unions, strive for.
100%.
Yeah. So, and I did feel proud I took the chance. And, all my coworkers at the time told me we'd never see that money again. So there was also a little bit of I told you so, but
That must have felt good.
yeah, it did. It did feel good.
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing also about a credit union, that it's, you can be in a certain place in your financials, but you're also a person at the end of the day. And we take that into consideration. And I think that that's really beautiful. Finances are something, or is a space where people can be very vulnerable. And it's scary to kind of have to go into a big institution and ask for money or ask for help when, you need it so badly. So it's a beautiful opportunity that you were able to impact someone in such a positive way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sue.
And so I'll finish off with this. So finish the sentence. Most people would have a healthier financial life if they simply stopped.
Ooh, stopped, I would say, trying to solve today's financial challenge without thinking long term.
Okay. Wow.
They need to come up with that financial plan, be consistent, watch their spending, make savings a priority, and really keep their eye on the long term goal.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't live for today.
Well, that is so true. A lot of people need to think about what the next 10 years might look like, whether or not they want to buy a home, a new car, invest in retirement. There's so many opportunities that life holds. And the future is so big. So I entirely agree with that, to not get lost in the right now, or whatever new link or trend is happening on Amazon that you just need to buy immediately.
Yeah.
It's very important to separate your mind with that. So thank you so much for your time today, Jeannie. I really appreciate it. And, I'm so thankful that we were able to have this podcast today. So thank you.
Me too. Thank you, Samantha. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Bye, guys. Well, guys, that was an absolutely amazing podcast that we just had with our president and CEO, Jeannie Cusey. We are so excited to continue to serve our members both in Miami-Dade County and in Broward County. If you want to stay connected with us, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at JetStream FCU. And if you want to learn more about what our products are and how we're able to serve you, check us out at jetstreamfcu.org. Adios.